The infantry rifle platoon and its squads can be task organized alone or as a combined arms force based upon a METTTC. See Figure 1.1. Its effectiveness increases through the synergy of combined arms including tanks, Bradley fighting vehicles BFVs and Stryker infantry carrier vehicles ICVs, engineers, and other support elements. The infantry rifle platoon and squad as a combined arms force can capitalize on the strengths of the team's elements while minimizing their limitations. Infantry units can operate in all terrain and weather conditions. They might be the dominant force because of rapid strategic deployment. In such cases, they can take and gain the initiative early, seize and retain or control terrain, and mass fires to stop the enemy. Infantry units are particularly effective in urban terrain, where they can infiltrate and move rapidly to the rear of enemy positions. The leader can enhance their mobility by using helicopters and airlift. The fundamental considerations for employing infantry units result from the missions, types, equipment, capabilities, limitations, and organization of units. Other capabilities result from a unit's training program, leadership and role, personnel strengths, and many other factors. These other capabilities constantly change based on the current situation. The infantry squad fire team is designed to fight as a team, and is the fighting element within the infantry platoon. Infantry platoons and squads succeed or fail based on the actions of their fire teams. The infantry squad fire team is designed as a self-contained team. See Figure 1.2, page 112. The automatic rifleman provides an internal base of fire with the ability to deliver sustained suppressive small arms fire on area targets. The rifleman provides accurate, lethal direct fire for point targets. The rifleman may be issued an SLM. The grenadier provides high explosive HE and direct fires for both point and area targets. A team leader leads his team by example. Currently, there is only one type of infantry squad, and its primary role is a maneuverable base of fire element. See Figure 1.3. While the platoon's task organization may change, the infantry squad's organization generally remains standard. The infantry weapons squad provides the primary base of fire for the platoon's maneuver. It is comprised of 2 medium machine gun teams, 2 medium CCMS teams, and a weapons squad leader. See Figure 1.4. The 2-man medium machine gun team is comprised of a gunner and an assistant gunner. The weapons squad has 2 medium machine gun teams. These teams provide the platoon with medium-range area suppression at ranges up to 1100 meters during day, night, and adverse weather conditions. The 2-man close combat missile team is comprised of a gunner and an ammunition handler. Currently, the team uses the Javelin missile system. The weapons squad has 2 close combat missile system teams. This system provides the platoon with an extremely lethal fire and forget, man-portable, direct and top attack capability to defeat enemy armored vehicles and destroy fortified positions at ranges up to 2000 meters. The Javelin has proven effective during day, night, and adverse weather conditions. The platoon leader leads his soldiers by personal example and is responsible for all the platoon does or fails to do, having complete authority over his subordinates. This centralized authority enables him to maintain unit discipline, unity, and to act decisively. He must be prepared to exercise initiative within his company commander's intent, and without specific guidance for every situation. The platoon leader knows his soldiers, how to employ the platoon, its weapons, and its systems. Relying on the expertise of the platoon sergeant, the platoon leader regularly consults with him on all platoon matters. During operations, the platoon leader leads the platoon in supporting the higher headquarters missions. He bases his actions on his assigned mission and intent and concept of his higher commanders. The platoon leader works to develop and maintain situational understanding. This is a product of 4 elements. First, the platoon leader attempts to know what is happening in present terms of friendly, enemy neutral, and terrain situations. Second, he knows the end state representing mission accomplishment. Third, he determines the critical actions and events occurring to move his unit from the present to the end state. Finally, he assesses the risk throughout. The platoon sergeant is the platoon's most experienced NCO and second in charge, accountable to the platoon leader for leadership, discipline, training, and welfare of the platoon soldiers. He sets the example in everything. He assists the platoon leader by upholding standards and platoon discipline. His expertise includes tactical maneuver, employment of weapons and systems, sustainment, administration, security, accountability, protection, warfighting functions, and soldier care. As the second in charge, the platoon sergeant assumes no formal duties except those prescribed by the platoon leader. The squad leader directs team leaders and leads by personal example. He has authority over his subordinates and overall responsibility of those subordinates' actions. Centralized authority enables him to act decisively while maintaining troop discipline and unity. Under the fluid conditions of close combat, the squad leader accomplishes assigned missions without constant guidance from higher headquarters. The squad leader is the senior infantry soldier in the squad, and is responsible for everything the squad does or fails to do. He is responsible for the care of the squad soldiers, weapons, and equipment, and leads the squad through to team leaders. The team leader leads his team members by personal example, and has authority over his subordinates and overall responsibility of their actions. Centralized authority enables him to maintain troop discipline and unity, and to act decisively. Under the fluid conditions of close combat, he accomplishes assigned missions using initiative without needing constant guidance from higher headquarters. The team leader's position on the battlefield requires immediacy and accuracy in all of his actions, and is a fighting leader who leads by example. He is responsible for all his team does or fails to do, and is responsible for caring of the team soldiers, weapons, and equipment. The automatic rifleman provides the unit with a high volume of sustained suppressive direct fires of area targets. The automatic rifleman employs his weapon system to suppress enemy infantry and bunkers, destroy enemy automatic rifle and AT teams, and enable the movement of other teams and squads. He is normally the senior soldier of the fire team. Fire support team and combat medics normally are attached anytime the platoon deploys. The forward observer FO, along with his ATO, is the platoon subject matter expert on indirect planning and execution. He advises the platoon leadership on the employment and execution for all fire support assets, including company mortars if assigned, battalion mortars, field artillery, and other allocated fire support assets. He is responsible for locating targets and calling and adjusting indirect fires. The fire support team also knows the mission and concept of operation, specifically the platoon's scheme of maneuver and concept of fires, and is the platoon leader's indirect fire expert. The following lists capabilities of the infantry rifle platoon and squad. Conduct offensive and defensive tasks in all types of environments, day and night. Seize, secure, occupy, and retain terrain. Destroy, neutralize, suppress, interdict, disrupt, block, canalize, and fix enemy forces. Breach enemy obstacles. Feint and demonstrate to deceive the enemy. Screen friendly units. Reconnoiter, deny, bypass, clear, contain, and isolate. These tasks might be oriented on both terrain and enemy. Conduct small unit operations. Participate in air assault operations. Participate in airborne operations, airborne only. Operate in conjunction with mounted forces. Operate in conjunction with special operations forces. Participate in amphibious operations. The infantry rifle platoon and squad has the following limitations. Limited close combat and sustainment assets. Limited vehicle mobility, The foot speed of organic elements may establish the pace of operations. Vulnerable to enemy armor, artillery, and air assets when employed in open terrain. Vulnerable to enemy CBR and attacks with limited decontamination capability. Infantry platoons and squads normally operate as part of a larger force. They habitually benefit from the support of organic mortars, artillery, close air support, army attack aviation, air defense, and engineers. They may additionally receive support from elements of armored or striker formations. They provide their own suppressive fires either to repel enemy assaults or to support their own maneuver. During close combat, platoon leaders determine how to employ their squads by considering the following objectives. Support the rifle squads with direct fires. Suppress or neutralize enemy elements or positions using indirect fires. Army attack aviation, or close air support. Destroy enemy armored vehicles with javelin fires. Success in operations requires seamless coordination of platoons and rifle squads in close combat. It depends on their ability to react to contact, employ suppressive direct and indirect fires, maneuver to a position of relative advantage, and assault to defeat, destroy, or capture an enemy. For success, the infantry platoon relies on the ability of leaders and soldiers to maximize the use of restricted and complex terrain to achieve a position of advantage, while mitigating the infantry platoon's lack of inherent protection. Use limited visibility to their advantage, to maximize the effect of surprise complemented with aggressive maneuver. Operate their weapons with accuracy and deadly effect. Outthink, outmaneuver, and outfight the enemy. Infantry units can operate in all terrain and weather conditions. They might be the dominant force because of rapid strategic deployment. In such cases, they can take and gain the initiative early, seize and retain or control terrain, and mass fires to stop the enemy. Infantry units are particularly effective in restricted or urban terrain, where they can infiltrate and move rapidly to the rear of enemy positions. The leader can enhance their mobility by using helicopters and airlift. Squads and platoons fight through enemy contact at the lowest possible level. Upon enemy contact, all soldiers and leaders must act at once. Battle drills are the standard procedures that help the platoon take immediate action. Before they can maneuver, squads or platoons in contact must establish effective suppressive fires and gain fire superiority. If the platoon or squad cannot move under its own fires, the leader must request support from the commander. Once fire superiority is achieved, they maneuver against an enemy position. Infantry platoons and squads must optimize the use of terrain to its greatest advantage, masking avenues of approach, to maximize surprise and shock during the assault. Both Bradley infantry platoons and Stryker infantry platoons with their respective squads are a versatile force that can fight mounted, dismounted while being supported by the AFVs, or dismounted and independent of the fighting vehicles. The AFV is an extremely powerful and robust weapon system that enables the mechanized and motorized infantry to find and destroy the enemy at long ranges, while the dismounted infantrymen, supported by the AFVs, can destroy the enemy in close combat.